This is episode 2 of Occult Abyss. This is the episode where we literally started off and I was getting booted offline by my freaking carrier and the Zoom call got ruined. We've got a guest here. We're gonna call him Wes. His you may know him from Bandcamp, Opiated Devilsperm.
Yeah.
We've got him here to talk about some Keller synth, which is it's a genre I would say none of us are we don't enjoy a lot. So
Good.
well, we've got you on the show. You're here to make a point for Kellerson, okay? Because we like your music.
Jesus. All
We're
right.
on trial.
Yeah.
This isn't an interview. This is a defense.
Yeah.
Yes, we're on trial.
Tell us about it.
What, Keller synth? It's
Yeah.
pretty new to me. It's I got into it like last year. I was just really into like dungeon synth at the time, and I was just like really into this whole like hybrid of dungeon synth with black metal, where keyboards were like the main focus. No riffs, hardly any guitars, drum machines. I do it with synthesizers. I do it, with Logic on the computer. I like it. It's cool. It's kind of creepy and kind of weird. I was watching that hipster black metal video where
Oh,
they were
God.
talking about they were making
Oh,
no. They were like making fun of I don't know, he said that like some band sounded like the Monster Mash or something, and I was like thinking, I was like dude, I was like Keller synth sounds kind of like the Monster Mash, like all of it kind of sounds like that sort of. It's just goofy, like I don't know, I like it.
So
And it
you're
attracts a
saying
lot of kids.
hipster black metal. The hipster black metal YouTube channel is to blame for Keller synth.
Single-handedly.
Yes. So you're telling me that the audience watching now, they can go right now to hipster black metal and just shit on him in comments for Keller synth. It's all his fault.
We need somebody to blame.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
He's the father.
Yeah.
He's the father.
So as we know, there's a certain popular theme in Kellerson. I think it has to do something about drugs. And when I see your album cover and you've got this corpse paint character and he's got the spoons like hanging from his eyes, I've got to ask,
What does that symbolize?
are you a drug user or a former drug user?
Yeah, former. I mean, I'm more of like a psychonaut now. Like I experiment with psychedelics and I smoke weed and shit, but I don't like fuck around with like really hard stuff anymore, like heroin.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah,
very
I've,
Anymore. I've
So got a few years of no heroin time under my belt, and I'm
Okay.
trying to keep it that way.
That's awesome. You're gonna have
Yeah.
some
Fair
like
enough.
you're gonna have some random like 16-year-old DMing you like never stop the madness, bro. It's
I
Yeah,
have-
you're gonna have some 16-year-old who's completely sober. telling you
Yeah,
Who's
exactly.
who hasn't even touched like Ritalin or whatever.
Right.
texting
Yeah, I
from his
have,
race car bed.
Yes.
I have like I don't know, I have people hit me up sometimes that are genuine, who've struggled with substance abuse problems. Then I have people sometimes that do just send me, never stop the madness, and shit like that. And I don't know, some of these guys, I don't know if they're really doing drugs or not, because I feel like I feel like if you're a heroin addict, I feel like you couldn't like make music really. I mean, you could, but I mean, creativity just fucking goes down the drain when you're doing that shit.
Yeah, I mean, is it like that one Breaking Bad scene where like Jesse's being lifted up from the bed?
That's like, oh yeah, that's a good episode, but I'd say that's like I'd say it's like, I guess maybe your first time you might feel like that, but after a while it's just about maintaining and not being sick and being able to be normal. So
Well, that's good because you're just like you didn't ruin your life for it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so do you think if you continued that your creativity would just totally stagnate.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you just get so like consumed and you just focus so much on drugs. Like even when you have them, like you're just like thinking hours ahead. Like I gotta go and do this, so I have this for tomorrow morning, and you'll just start putting stuff off, and you just
Yeah, so the habit would take precedence over the music.
yeah. I mean, I mentioned to you guys in the group chat not too long ago. I said something about selling some CDs or something. I cannot even tell you like how many like grails I've sold in my lifetime just to buy some dope.
Oh, that's the
Is
Um,
worst.
Damn,
is there something
damn.
that just haunts you every day? Never wish you sold?
I think I said something about Gravelands, the Celtic Winter. I had a first pressing on CD that I sold. Uh, that
Ooh.
first pressing
I'm
of
gonna get you for that.
Mutilations Remains. Um, uh, I sold a Salem tape. I know it's not like black metal; it's like witch house shit. But I sold a Salem tape on Discogs last year that I didn't really want to get rid of, but somebody paid the right price for it.
I
So
thought you meant that band from Israel.
So
no,
speaking
no.
speaking of Salem, since that's would you describe them as maybe an influence on the synths in your music? Because one of the first things that I picked up on is that there's a bit of a rhythmic structure to it, and for the lack of a better word, I'd describe it as a bit danceable. Was that
Yeah,
intentional?
yeah. I was really into Salem back in like 2010 when that one
Oh,
album came out, King Knight.
OG?
Um,
yeah, he's an
yeah,
OG.
it's a huge like yeah. Back in the day, that was like
You're
being
not one
played
of
a
these
lot. Like I
Johnny
used to
come latelys to
no
the
no
witch
no
house game.
Drainers
oh
ain't got shit on him.
no
Mm,
I don't like listen to any of like the new shit. Like I don't listen to Cemetery or
I mean, yeah.
any of that other shit.
You like Blade?
No.
No, I don't. I
Um,
mean I don't have I don't like really have anything. I don't really know much about him. I just know it's like Drain Gang or something. I don't really keep up with it.
I remember I
I
saw a
think it's
Drain Gang meme in like 2017, and it was like just a guy sitting in a drain, and he was saying Drain Gang, and I thought it was so funny because like I literally thought it was just like memes about people who sat in drains. Like that's literally what I thought the punchline was.
oh
I've
my
been
god.
seeing all this like the Blade stuff and Drain Gang like on memes since like around the same time, 2017. And like because I saw it so much, I just started to hate it without knowing like what it really was
Right.
about. So I've been like a Blade hater for like so many years. And like
I
just recently I've sort of started to like the music. And I hate myself for that.
So tell
I
me,
s-
how long have you been into the genre,
but
black metal as a whole? Yeah,
uh oh black metal as a whole since I was like 12, like a really long time.
you were
So I'm
pretty early.
33.
Yeah, young age.
Damn.
Yeah.
How to get started? What was
Uh, so so all through the 90s listened to like pretty much everything, but like in the later 90s, early 2000s, I started getting into like the whole like new metal, groove metal shit and kind of like some industrial type stuff. And then I had a friend who let me borrow a Cradle of Filth CD, and
Ooh,
that was kind of like my introduction into that.
that's a good
I kind
start.
of I kind of come from a similar background. I was brought to I sort of stumbled upon black metal through industrial, through that sort of
Yeah.
EDM stuff.
Mine is like
So,
vastly
Mm,
different.
do you think that your music would be conducive to a live setting? And if so, what do you think a dream show would look like? Do you think it would just be like some like what would the atmosphere be like?
I've
Drugs, bro.
I thought about this, thinking about doing something for Halloween. Um, I would probably just have two people up there. It would probably just be me and a friend of mine. I would probably have him do the synthesizers and have like a backing track played. Honestly, I probably wouldn't actually play anything live. I would probably just do vocals, and honestly, I'd probably be focusing a lot on stage presence and theatrics, even though that's shouldn't be the main focus. But I feel like with the type of music I've been making, that would work for that.
Yeah, you could bring like
Yeah.
a giant spoon onto stage and you could like
Yeah,
swing
fog
it around.
machine and
Just a
spoons.
spoonful.
One of the
Yeah.
one of the answers I had in mind was definitely a Halloween show because it gives me a Halloween atmosphere. So
Keller as a whole.
I know what I'm listening to when in the coming months.
Oh yeah. I've got a whole
Yeah.
playlist prepared.
And yeah, okay. I want to ask you a question, Wes, from me to
Yeah.
you. So, from like an artist's perspective, since you're obviously the guy making the music, how different do you view your first release to your latest release?
Um, I feel like the latest stuff I did was I felt like a little bit of pressure that was put on me, I guess. I the first project was really a passion project and it just kind of came naturally. And I didn't expect it to like I don't know. I didn't expect it to do like anything at all. And I was really hyped when Narb reached out to me about doing tapes. And I don't know. I feel like the stuff since the first one, I've just was trying to make something to kind of keep the ball rolling. But I think the next project I've got coming out is going to be more of that passion I had like the first
Under the
one.
same name?
No, it's called Booger Woods. It's like a kind of a
Ooh.
swampy horror themed black metal project.
Swampy. Are you from the South? From South America, not South America, but
No,
South US.
yeah,
Colombia.
southeastern United States. I'm in
Florida?
North Carolina.
Oh, never mind.
But I've spent time in Florida, but I'm up in NC right now.
I don't know much about that area.
All right.
You near like the Smoky Mountains?
No, I'm like near the beach. Like I'm in the southeastern region. I'm like 3 miles away from the beach, and there's like a lot of swamp and alligator stuff just a couple miles away.
That's pretty nice. All right,
Uh,
so
I'm thinking a voodoo theme would be a great sort of theme for it
you see what I
because of
see?
the yes, I do.
Okay. What else was I thinking? Well, damn. So, naturally, we did spend like the first like 2 minutes kind of dogging on Keller Synth. So
all right.
I want to start asking for your opinion on some good Keller artists. I know you like this. Who's the young guy? Medwegia.
Medweg.
Oh shit, I'm pronouncing it
I,
wrong.
I've actually kind of warmed up to him. He's more endearing. And
Yeah, he's a very talented young man. I like him.
I saw him like posted. He posted on his story like sheet music, and I was like, "Damn, this kid,
Yeah.
he's got some potential."
Oh, he's like, dude, he's like super smart, and he just like knows his shit, and he knows a lot about music. He's like sent me some really cool stuff. He's good at making all kinds of music. He's like sent me a few different things he's worked on, and all of it's been pretty good.
That's good. Now, what about your progression as a musician? Where did you start playing instruments?
Like when I was younger, I took up piano just for a little while. I didn't really stick with it, but I started like doing vocals like in some kind of like I don't know what you call it, like kind of metalcore type shit. This is like early 2000s, like high school, like everybody was wanting to start a
Like MySpace
metalcore
metalcore?
band. Yeah, we were
Oh,
on
yeah.
MySpace and like all that shit, and I kind of got like some experience with that, and there was like a few guys in town that like black metal. Mostly everybody here wanted to play punk or hardcore or metalcore. I actually was living out in California for a couple of years. I just moved back last year, and when I was out there, I was playing with like a kind of grind core black metal group and was doing vocals, and that was a lot of fun. I don't know. I just got kind of tired of the band thing. I just like, I don't know. I quit doing the band thing just because of a lot of creative differences and
Exactly,
just
yeah.
personal shit and all that.
You
And,
just want total control.
yeah, I mean, I honestly, the Keller synth thing, it's it was really eye-opening for me. Like I had no idea. Like I was like so shocked that people were like using the computer and all this shit to fucking make the stuff that, you know, kind of sounded like black metal, or it was like in the neck of the woods. And it just really got me away from working on other types of music to do stuff that I used to like really be into.
That's a pretty natural progression, actually. I can respect that. Do you have any plans in the future to make just like straight up black metal stuff?
I've got some stuff that I'm doing now for that other project I mentioned, Booger Woods. It's probably the most black metal type stuff I've done. I'm trying to clean it up right now. I actually did it all on Logic, so there's no real guitars at all whatsoever, but I think it sounds decent. I'll probably shoot it over to one of you guys and get an opinion at some point.
I definitely.
So being a solo band, do you think you feel more pressure on yourself that now that you're the one who's going to be held to account for the quality of your music instead of maybe like a drummer or a guitarist or a bassist? Since you're doing all these things, do you feel more pressure because of that?
Not too bad. I think the only pressure that I ever really feel is kind of what I was mentioning earlier about just wanting to keep the ball rolling and, you know, stay consistent and keep putting stuff out. That's kind of like, I just see other people like releasing music and stuff all the time, and I'm just like, shit, I need to be doing this. I don't know. I'm not sure what direction it's going to go in next, or how bad the pressure is going to be. But right now, I'm just kind of hanging out and just enjoying what I've got up online.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of very malleable, and that's a good thing. You know, it's not always gonna be like Keller synth. It's kind of gonna, I guess, change with whatever your interests are at the time.
Yeah,
Being sober, I'm sure is definitely done a great deal for taking that pressure off of you a bit.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I just saw like, I don't know, I guess like last year when I started getting into the Keller synth thing, I was like telling my buddies about it who like used to do dope and stuff too, and we used to talk about Mutilation all the time and how Mutilation was like, you know, the heroin band or whatever. And I was like, nah, dude. I was like, I got some shit. I was like, I found like some fucking kids online that are like romanticizing and like just glorifying heroin use, like just straight up, like not even being like discreet about it. And we just got a kick out of it. My buddy was just like, dude, he's like, you should fucking make that shit. He's like, I bet these fucking kids have never even shot dope. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
in their race car beds.
You should make like a diss track. Make like a diss track on Keller synth. Like, you haven't even shot up before.
That's where the trap influences will come into play.
Yes.
I'll bring them out. Yeah, it's like a kid in a race car bed with like a Grosmakite like comforter.
Yeah, make the image all grainy. That'd be awesome.
I've seen pictures like that online, like meme pictures. I saw some bedroom that was like a kid's bedroom, like a Bathory comforter or something on the bed.
You got to do at least one fuck you. You got to do at least one fuck you release, just to demonstrate that you're the one who's in control and not them.
Exactly.
Not that this is your thing.
Yeah, y'all were talking about some song in the last podcast that was called like "Fuck You" or black metal or something.
Oh yeah, is it an Abigail song? No, it's Barbados.
Okay, yeah, just be like "Fuck you." I am Keller synth.
That's it.
Fuck you. I am never ending madness.
I don't know. I think it should be worded
Seeds
like
have been planted.
It should be worded like a Space Ghost Perp song where it's like it's like all you guys don't even smoke heroin or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Viper. That's Viper.
That's Viper.
No, yo, you stole the shit right out of my mouth. I was like just about to say, like, sounds like some fucking Viper shit.
I think it could go either way.
So Another question for Wes. So, where were you during 9/11?
Ooh.
Very important.
I was in my seventh grade history, like social studies class.
Did they pull it up on the TV? I've heard that story from a lot of people.
Yeah, so
Oh.
yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, basically, I was in school, and it was like any other day, and some other teacher like came into the classroom, and she was like, "Oh my God, like you gotta turn the TV on." She's like, "There's like planes that are like flying into the Twin Towers," and yeah, they pulled the news up, and we just like watched it in class that day.
You're probably sipping on juice boxes too. You had no idea what was
Yeah, I
going on.
mean, it was, yeah, it was, it's crazy. I mean, the whole, that, yeah, it's like kind of like a, I don't know, I use that as like a reference, like as a point in time, you know, the 9/11 thing. I always tell people I can remember 9/11. Like, you know, that's how old I am. I can
Do
remember
you
it.
think it has impacted you in a way?
I used to like be kind of insensitive about it. Um, but I feel like with time, I've, you know, I've kind of like not appreciated it, but but like,
You've
but
grown, you've
like,
grown more
Clowns.
reverent. You've grown more
yeah,
reverent.
9/11
Yes.
appreciators.
yeah,
My favorite thing that every time someone says where they were on 9/11 is like they go into hiding. It's like, the three main things, the terrorists want to attack, the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and Wallachus, Indiana.
That's I don't know. I don't know why 9/11 is such a
what,
monumental event for us.
Sampled to this day, the audio.
True.
yeah, and, you know, it's a really interesting story about 9/11. It's probably my favorite is James Woods. James Woods, actor, he was on a plane like a day or two before it happened, and he saw like one of these guys that like crashed one of the planes at the Trade Center, like sitting on the plane, and he like told the people at the airport about it. He was like telling them to go check these guys out on the plane, and
These guys
didn't.
look
They didn't.
Muslim.
Yeah, yeah. He was like basically saying that dude, he's got like an IQ of like 160 something. He's really smart. But anyway,
We're
yeah,
just gonna
one of those
stop at
guys,
one.
like James Woods, could have like he could have done something, man. He tried.
Didn't though. He's single-handedly
Yeah.
responsible for
And,
9/11.
let's
Low
see,
key though.
Seth Green, the Family Guy dude. He like was supposed to get on a plane that morning and was
I've heard
hungover,
this one.
and he missed his flight, and that flight was was crashed into one of the Twin Towers.
We almost lost a national treasure. If I didn't have Family Guy in my
You would have had
formative
two
years,
seasons. You'd had 2 seasons if that had happened.
I mean the first two
Best
seasons
two
are the
damn
best though.
seasons in the
Yeah.
show, though.
What else? So, we obviously know you're into like synth BM. When I was listening to your demo, just the self-titled one, I
Yeah.
noticed a lot of like Concilium influence, like specifically like Crystal Knock or Crystal Night.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
is that there? Is that there, or am I just tweaking?
It might just be no. You're not tweaking. I like Crystal Knock. So it could just be coming out naturally or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And what are some of your favorite stuff that you've been bumping right now?
Okay, so there was usually whatever I'd share on my story. Hold on, let's see. There's something I heard you guys actually mention this band in the podcast. Akesis? Is
Akitsa?
that
Akisa?
how do you
Canadian
say it?
band?
Yeah, it's I think so. They have like the really creepy album cover. It looks like a painted I don't know. It came out in 2020. Hold on.
I'm
Is that the
thinking.
band that I said their
Shit.
vocalist looked like Richard Spencer with the beer belly?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's the same band. It's spelled like Akhlys.
Oh, Aklis?
Aklis, yes,
Did we
yes.
talk about that band?
No,
I
you didn't
did,
talk
I
about
did.
that.
I brought him
Oh.
up. I brought him up when I was talking about excommunion.
I didn't
I
even
did.
notice that.
So I found that band. I
Nightbringer
found this
guitars.
band by chance the other day, and the album cover was intriguing, and I clicked on it, and I was like, holy shit, I was like, this is pretty good.
I'm sad that
I
they
like
got dropped
that.
from Death Fest.
So
That was very
annoying.
regrettable.
Yeah, that's something I've been listening to. I listen to anything that Volvis War Slug puts out. I like his little trap song that he just dropped. I
Trap
think
songs.
that's
Traps.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
yeah. No. Seriously, check it out. It's cool as shit. It's
Are we
he
finally getting
dropped it
Keller
as
rap?
he dropped it underneath as Pulgasari or whatever. It's like a Korean Godzilla type thing. It doesn't look like Godzilla, but it's like a kaiju type thing that was made in North Korea. He's got that as his artist name.
Uh,
Um, I was listening to that. I was listening to a Maniac Butcher the other day. That was a band I used to like a lot.
Have you seen that promo
Maniac Butcher.
poster? The Maniac Butcher promo poster where it's like we are not disco, we don't use synths. And it's like no
Yeah.
female vocals. We use the mouths of women for other unrelated activities. And then it's
my
just a
God.
band photo.
I've been listening to Portal a lot. I got into Portal last year and have just really I've known about them for years, but I just never really gave them a chance, and I really like it.
Which portal are we talking? Like
Oh, like
what
Portal, like
album?
also. Oh, I've been listening to Ion, and I've been listening to Hagbulbia, like the kind of like dark ambient industrial.
Oh yeah, that one was good.
It was kind yeah, it was kind of like a follow up to the newest one.
On the topic of industrial, do you like Death Industrial Power Electronics?
Yes, Atrax Morgue,
Oh yes.
uh, Brighter Death Now, all that stuff that used to come out on
Italian.
cold was
Yeah,
it
is that
Cold
one?
Meat Industry?
Oh no, I
Oh,
was thinking of
You're
the Atrax
thinking of
Morgue guy's label.
can't even think
He
of it
had
right
some
now.
damn good dark ambient under that too.
Yeah, that his stuff, man, is like God, it's so fucking dark, Like I feel like it's some of the darkest stuff I've listened to. I don't know why it's never mentioned on any of these like lists
I'm
that you
surprised too. Like
see
people will
on
bring up like
the
they'll bring up like
darkest.
Purient, they'll bring up like Ramley, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so odd to me because I would say Atrax Morgue is like probably it's probably my favorite like power electronics act. There's only one album that I don't
Same.
really like, which is
Which one?
Paranoia, which is unpopular.
Uh, okay. I think my favorite is Black Slaughter, but I've got on LP I have Aesthetic of a Corpse and Overcome. Um, Aesthetic of a Corpse is probably my favorite between those two.
I love those live sets. I gotta find the specific one that I'm talking about though.
Um, but
Uh it's close to
Industrial,
a corpse.
last thing I'll say about Industrial is like Skinny Puppy. Skinny Puppy was like
that's
they're
what
like
got
my
me into
big
it.
one of my biggest influences.
That's what got me into black metal was
Oh,
when I read that Attila was influenced by Kevin Ogilvy's
so
stage presence. That was what got me into black metal.
quick story. When I was like I turned 18, I went to see Skinny Puppy in Atlanta. I flew there to Atlanta, but in 2013 I went to a horror convention and just happened to see Ogre there, and I actually like I think I talked to him for like 45 minutes or something. He was so genuine and just so cool and humble. uh he's a really fucking great person and really talented, and
This is kind of
I think he had sorry, you're good.
no, that was my bad. This is kind of unrelated. I'm still thinking about Atrax Morgue, but I still remember distinctly like the lyrics. I'm obsessed by images. That's just constantly stuck in my head. I don't
that
know.
Imagery.
that oh yeah, yeah, that's I like that. Let's see.
I completely
Yeah.
derailed that. Sorry.
Ogre's
No,
Ogre's
you're good.
singing was definitely It was, I mean, you couldn't call it singing. It was more like a,
Yeah, a
yeah,
growl. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. Two
You'll
Dark
find no
Park.
shortage of people of extreme metal stuff that was influenced by Skinny Puppy.
I just feel like of all the bands that I've listened to over time, like especially from like my younger years, they're like one of the main bands that I still listen to.
Hmm.
All their albums are so different, and I it changes too. I always say Two Dark Park is my favorite, but now I don't know. I guess it is my
Two
favorite.
Dark
It's
Park
really
is a
good.
very fucked up album. I love it. Yeah. I still
Yeah,
go back to
it's
Bites every so often.
oh
It's a great
god,
album.
Bites is so good. This is like my favorite shit. Really, I really really fucking like Skinny Puppy.
Yeah.
But but for industrial and like black metal, I know something I've been listening to. Rubber Witch. It's like an
Oh yeah.
uh, industrial black metal one woman project from Canada.
Ooh, that could be
Doesn't it
good.
And
have something to do with like werewolf, or am I tripping?
no,
No, no,
yeah,
I don't think so.
no, it does. I
Sure.
think it's either been on his label or either I'm not sure actually, but
I think I saw it around on like a website of his or something.
well, I
That's
So
think
how I found about it.
yeah.
since we seem to be talking about all the stuff we've been listening to lately, do you think we just go right into that section before the hail or fail?
Yeah, why not?
Oh,
Why
Yeah.
not?
alright.
I'll s- I'll start with what I've been listening to. I've been listening to a I'm pretty sure they might be a US band. They're one of those unknowns. They are
Mhm.
they have a Polish name, which I'm not going to even bother
Oh God,
to
no.
pronounce.
Unspeakable.
Naivisci. I uploaded them on my channel. It's pretty good. I like it. So far, they've only done one demo, one sole demo, but I really like it. It reminds me of the Temple of Full Moon stuff. I like the
Oh,
synths.
Ooh.
It's got a
Nice.
much thicker guitar tone than the earlier Temple of Full Moon stuff. It's I guess maybe the guitar tone's closer to the later Graveland stuff, but in aesthetics, it's most like
Mm.
with the synths and the vocals and
Yeah, I get what you
the
mean.
general atmosphere. It's much closer to Carpathian Wolves.
Would it be like
Oh shit.
the fake Infernum?
Yeah, I guess it would be like the fake Infernum, depending on whether which you consider the real Infernum or the
Uh,
fake Infernum. The many incarnations of Infernum throughout the years.
The fake one is the one started by Rob Darkin. Or like after it was after the death of Karcharoth, I
Yeah,
think.
at least they didn't. I know there's one with female vocals, but at least they didn't change it to Infernum AD or some stupid shit like that, like
I
so many
think
other bands do,
I,
like
I think
Nocturnus.
the Far Natuum demo or whatever it's called by Infernum. I think
It's
Farnufum.
fantastic.
that's the only one I've
I
heard by
love
them, I
that.
think.
There is like a
Farewell is good too.
there is a synth line in that Naive is a C demo that literally reminds me of something from Tarnofwin. I listened to Tarnofwin today, and it's like it's almost like a one-to-one thing, but I don't think I think it might have been intentional. I don't think they're just lifting it subconsciously, but it's pretty good. If they're
Or am
listening to this, this is my
I
me summoning them to release more stuff because I really like it. They're on Spectral Moon Records. I could have sworn I seen some other things from them.
Hmm.
Yeah, Haunting Depths put out some
Ah,
bleh. Haunting Depths and Nocturnal Triumph put stuff out.
hmm,
So
that's pretty
yeah,
good.
that's what I've been listening to.
I guess I can go next if
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What?
So I don't know about you guys, but I've been listening to a crap ton of Hand of Glory. We were talking about
Ooh,
that in the group chat, and I was like,
yeah.
I can't get enough of those
Talked about
ambient
it in the last
sections.
episode.
Yeah, that
Did
was
we?
like me that
I thought it
no,
had something
like
to do with masturbation.
Oh yeah. We were talking about that. It doesn't
we
matter.
How embarrassing.
I mean we mentioned it,
I've
but
been
we'll mention it
listening
again.
to some Dutch black metal. I've been listening to Vazal Vazal.
Vasafor.
No.
No.
They're pretty cool. Their one album, Age of Chaos, is kind of awkward because it's like, you know, Botulism, right? It's got like this really like shitty drum tone, kind of like Botulism, but it's really off-putting because one of the songs, Age of Razors and Sadness, just starts off and it's like this weird like rape porn sample, and it's so awkward because you're hearing like kind of like semi-raw black metal, and then all of a sudden you hear "It Hurts," and it's like, damn, I was just trying to listen to music. This is making me uncomfortable.
I just want to let it be on the record that you've demonetized us. You've demonetized us for good
I've also been
by
been listening to
mentioning rape.
Flooded Church of Asmodeus.
Oh,
I I'm constantly trying to pick if I like them or Ride for Revenge more. It's like it's like a constant battle between the two because
Yeah, I
I've
know they're
always
compared a lot. I know they're compared a lot. I've listened to mostly Ride for Revenge, but I'd like to get into Flooded Church of Asmodeus.
yeah, Flooded Church is more like on the noise side of things, and that I think that appeals to me more. Uh, and then the last one, let me think. I've been listening to some ads of Ham Hani from Sweden.
Sweden.
Very early stuff, I may add. Very good stuff. You should check it out if you haven't. And that's about it, I'd say.
who's up next?
I
You.
was gonna say I feel like I
Okay.
kind
Guess
of
not.
butchered mine. I have some other stuff I could list really quick.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
First
sure.
mission.
One thing that I found on your channel, the Burzum GameCube channel, was found this a while ago actually. The Thor's hammer.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Yeah, that shit's pretty cool.
I completely
I've
forgot I
been listening.
uploaded that.
Haunt. I mean, like the U.S. black metal band Haunt. And then I don't know how you pronounce this. This is like an older one. I was going back to some like classic stuff that I'd missed. I think the band's called Mac Tatus.
Oh, I love
It's like
them.
a
They're great.
kind of like a
Early stuff.
symphonic. Yeah, the album's called Blot.
They
Wes,
have they have an album. They're one of those bands in the early thousands. They had when they were on Napalm. They have a horrible album cover. I'm pretty sure it's the second one, The Complex Bewitchment is the
now
name of it.
on the topic of Thor's hammer and off of album covers, you probably know where I'm going with this. Wes, do
Mm-hmm.
you know the cover to the Fate Worse Than Death?
Mm-hmm.
No, I
It's
don't.
it's it's like,
Can you look that up
yeah,
right
just
now?
just look up the
Let's get a
Fate
live
Worse Than Death
reaction.
Thor's
Yeah,
hammer.
live reaction.
All right.
Live
Yeah.
West
Live
What am I?
reaction
Okay.
for the
All
record.
right. Should I go on Google or YouTube?
Google.
Like,
Google.
all right, let's see. All right, what's it called?
A fate worse
Fate
than
Worse
death.
Than Death. Thor's Hammer.
Fate Worse.
It's a Capricornus project, but like
Okay.
I don't know, he kind of sucks on it.
I don't like the vocals on the later ones.
I like only Nothing But Hate, really, which is a pretty good demo. Everything else is I just don't like it. Plus the
I'm
album covers are
looking.
awful.
He's looking.
What the fuck? No. Which one's real? There's like
It's the
All of them.
It's the
interracial
most
couple.
unreal.
Oh,
It's the
shit.
most unreal of them all.
It's an interracial couple, and in the background, it's just like a massive
bomb.
nuclear-
I see. So I see where this is going. This is actually really funny. Yeah, I see one with the hands, and I see one with them with like no shirts
Okay.
on. And then there's one that's got like a atom bomb like blowing up, and
Yeah,
it's got like
that's it.
Yeah.
some
That's it.
dude getting ready to. Nice. Wow. This is real.
Yep.
Real.
It's real.
Capricornus had a lot of
Somebody-
drug issues. What a poor guy.
Okay.
I miss him.
Well, yeah, I had never heard of them before. That I've also been listening to this thing that I found on I think it's like this channel called Dungeon Spectre, and it's called Carpathia, like just
Ooh.
Carpathia,
Ooh.
and it's like a
French?
chick. Maybe I don't know. It's like maybe it's shit. I can't remember, but it's like
Do
a
they have a
girl,
Celtic
and
cross on their logo? Yep, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, the
yeah.
girl.
She like died like I think she
Killed herself.
yeah, and trying to be safe for YouTube. I don't know if that matters or not.
Oh,
but-
it does not matter. We don't care.
Okay,
We
yeah.
don't
Well, I guess
care.
she killed
Actually,
herself.
yeah.
but yeah, it actually got me thinking. I saw that it was released. I think it was like in 2000, and
Yeah.
started to get me thinking about females in the kind of like that play a role in the killer scent scene, I guess.
Inclusive.
Inclusive, yeah.
More stunning and brave, Kelly said. What do you mean?
Yes. Yeah, that stuff was really cool. Actually, I really liked it. The keyboards are insane. It kind of reminds me of this this band. I don't even know if it's a band, but it was like called Tartaros. It was like a
Oh
the
yeah, from
Grand,
Norway.
Norway?
yeah,
Yeah.
Grand Psychotic Castle.
Yes.
I remember thinking that was just wild when I was
We're
like
bringing up all the
younger.
good Norwegian symphonic stuff here.
Yeah,
Octatus.
so and then last two I'm gonna mention two more classics that I had totally missed was Bethlehem.
Ooh, yes.
Which
The good
German?
one. I don't
dark metal?
The good
Yes.
one.
Dark.
It's the good album. It's let me find out which one it is.
Dark metal.
It's,
That's the good one.
I don't think I've listened to that one.
Check it out. It's awesome.
Hell yeah. I really like this one. It's called Dictius te Nicare, something like that.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah, I know that
familiar.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, in 1996. Yeah, so I've been listening to that, and the last one I've been listening to is an Impaled Nazarene album. Uber Karma.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely a classic. I've kind of fell
Yeah.
out of style with them. I don't know.
I never listened to him before. Like I've seen him, release albums over time, and I've seen the name around and stuff. But I just kind of started listening to him like this year.
Hmm.
So I guess Steon's up next. Or Eric.
Is Eric
I'll
here?
go. No, I'm here. I've been listening.
Oh, okay.
Lately, mostly what I've been listening to is I like really going back to this is a lot of like 90s noisecore, very amateurish projects, that like South American and European projects, mostly released on Solo Rudio and Cadaverizer Records. And I've also been checking out a lot of 7 Minutes of Nausea. Very fucking good noisecore. But one of my favorite releases that came from this time is Die You Stupid Fucking Posers by Tracy Lords Loves Noise,
Oh.
which is
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And the intro of it is so fucking funny. It's just shitting on death metal bands.
Yep.
It's a fucking treat. I really want you guys to check it out.
What year?
Yeah, what is that? Tracy
19
Lords.
1993.
What's
Okay.
it called?
That would have been the time everybody was shitting on death metal then.
19, yeah, Tracy Lords Loves Noise. Die you stupid fucking posers. So fucking funny. And a lot of these, it's just not serious, and they know it, so they just fuck around. They just fuck around, put whatever on the covers, and just make noise. And that's something that I really like from these projects is the amateur factor of it adds like sort of a soul to the music.
Kind of
for me.
jealous of your noisecore knowledge, honestly.
It's very little.
It's a piece of hellish blasphemy. Die, you stupid fucking posers.
But just some other bands to check out: Mundo de Mierda, Genital Masticator,
Yes.
Bota.
Masticator.
Yeah, perking up there. Bota Belezadora. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Dechi Charge, Sociedad de Rechazo.
You're shouting out all those South American bands.
Honestly, check them out. You cannot support them anymore. They are all dead, but check them out.
They're all dead for real?
As in, there's not been any activity.
Yeah.
Some of these actually have reissues from Cadaverizer Records. He's reissuing a lot of old stuff from that era, so go check that out.
So in this album cover with the Napalm Death sticker and the Deicide sticker, there's a commentary on that. They're making fun of these guys.
Oh my, it's very funny. It's something you just gotta listen to.
Okay, right on. Holy shit, it's like 42 minutes.
42 minutes of noisecore is like 100 songs. Not even 100 songs. That's probably like 500 songs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
How
I
many tracks
believe.
are on that though?
Up next, I guess, is Steon. You're in the hot seat once again.
Okay. I'll start off with what I've been listening to the absolute most, which is Baphomancia, which I'm sure some of you know, maybe.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
They're from LA, right? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been listening to their demo Agonized in Belial's Land a lot, and I used to have contact with Tony Satanas from that band, and I've tried to like reach out to him recently, and I put up a thing on my story yesterday
Damn, you,
asking if anybody had like direct contact with him, and I got a lot of really interesting replies about that character, but I don't know if I want to go into it on the podcast.
Listeners,
you should
start
have asked.
putting Tony's face on milk cartons.
But-
Missing.
uh,
This young boy's missing.
You
I'll
should have
say it
asked his
after.
opinion on Kanye copying the meth goat logo.
Oh
That was the thing.
yeah.
But I'll say the stuff after the podcast. I don't think I want to say this live, but he's an interesting guy, apparently.
Who was it again?
Tony Satanas from Lawful Mountia or
Mancia.
like Satano Fader or Meth Goat, all those.
Agonized in Belial's Land. So it
Yeah,
is.
that's the demo. And more about that demo, it has a really cool like track layout. Hold on, let me find. So it has 3 interludes. So you got Intromancy, Intercurse, and Outro side. So if you see this in the format, that's where I got it from.
Intromancy was a thing that
Intromancy.
Piety did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
I'm pretty sure.
really that style, like total South
Yeah.
American old school. It's really cool. So that's definitely something to check out. Other stuff is I've been listening to a lot of Eisenwinter, which is
Best cover.
again
We talked about that last episode.
yeah, but
Guy,
I've
the
been
ice
listening to
He hasn't
skate,
changed
ice skating
anything.
guy.
no, not the ice skating guy, but some others.
The
Like
epic fail.
the Helvetische Primitive Black Metal Tonkunst.
Oh, I like that one.
What
That
is
one
with
is,
the ice skating cover? I never. Am I missing something?
I have no idea.
If you haven't checked Grimmig, Grausam, Dragonglyke, that's probably my favorite Eisenwinter.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. I've only heard the demo I mentioned and the Antreten zum Verrecken EP or whatever.
Oh yeah,
That's the one that has the Pentagon and Flammen song,
oh yeah.
which is like my favorite Eisenwinter track. And yeah, it's just really good and I need to listen to the other releases. So
He released something this year, but it just doesn't.
oh really?
Well, it's like,
I know he has a split with Vothana.
yeah, I didn't pay attention to that. we
So
we make fun of Vathana around here.
he's a nice guy.
He doesn't deserve it.
He's a nice guy
All
when
the
he's
work,
serving you a
all the work
sandwich.
he does. Yes, all the work he puts on that all the work he
And
puts into those Subway
I
sandwiches,
think
he simply doesn't deserve it.
I think last thing I'll mention is that I've been listening to Only Theater of Pain by Christian Death.
Oh shit. That's good. Good shit.
I just wanted to mix it up with something that isn't black metal.
Non-metal, yeah.
Yeah. That's a great
Yeah,
album.
I think that's about it for me.
Okay. This is we're talking about nuclear war now forums off screen, but I want to tell you guys a bit of a story about Famine before we get started. I remember on the nuclear war now forums, Famine used to pretend that he couldn't speak English just so he like wouldn't answer people's questions about him like doing reissues. Like like they would
Mad
like
respect.
ask him questions and he would just like respond in French and like just pretend that he didn't know what he was talking about. That's kind of random, but
That's
yeah,
a move.
we can start Hail or Fail. What's gonna be the first release?
Stinking
Uh,
bishops or
yeah,
Stink,
yeah. I thought
Stinking
we were gonna
Bishops is
do it in
good.
order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who
who
wants to
want to kick it
start?
off?
Um.
Wait, can I
Uh.
start?
Yeah.
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 Since I picked it, I don't want to be the first one. So obviously I'm gonna be biased because Stinking Bishops medieval football violence was my pick. And unlike the last Hail or Fail, I don't know what you guys did, but I've certainly heard this demo before I
I've
picked
heard
it.
Spear of Tusha before.
Yeah, okay. But last time we just picked random stuff none of us had heard about. So yeah, I was going into this like already liking it a lot. So this is like so musically brain dead. It's crazy. It is like
Hmm.
melted to a pot. It is insane. It's like it's punk black metal, but it's like not even punk black metal. Because when you say punk black metal, you think of like Iljar or like Akitsa or something, but it's just like so far out and like
Yeah.
musically disconnected from anything ever like compared to like black punk. And I guess like if I wanted this to like describe it, it would be like musically very raw and like primitive, sort of oi punk, um, combined with like the ideals of black metal and like in the music itself. I think the most black metal thing about it would be like the vocals and the trem riffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like you're already pretty far out there,
Yeah.
from like even calling it black metal, but it's adjacent.
And you
So
want to know something about them? This is probably not going to shock you. You want to know what label they're connected to?
I know already, but yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Yeah, no, Aske and
Yeah, antisocial culture England.
yep, which is connected with Adslek, and
Yeah,
they
I
had
was gonna talk about that later.
damn. I was also gonna talk about that. Also, Occulted Death Stance. I was
Yeah.
just gonna add that in.
So but what really stands out about this demo is just how unpredictable it is in like every way.
Yeah.
Because like the vocals are just incredibly bizarre and I just really cannot get enough of it. And like, there's a part on the third track called "No Surrender," which I think he starts playing it like an accordion or something, and it's just it's so out there, but it fits so well, and it's just so good. So
Do you know
yeah,
what is it? You know what's the name of track 3?
"No Surrender."
Okay, so you know where he gets more like sing-songy, like the singing is more guttural. That
Yeah,
reminds me of like
Mhm.
IX Einsiedler by Erfost.
I haven't heard them
One
much. Can't lie.
something I'd like to say at the I'm not sure what track it is, but it's at the 7-Eleven mark for the timestamp. The vocals there actually remind me a lot of the vocals from some of the tracks on the one that I picked off the Mutilation record.
Oh
Like
yeah.
in terms of, like I swear at that part in particular, like it just sounds like something from that album, kind of like the way the vocals are recorded. I don't know.
Mm,
I like it.
it really pierces through the music.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to like mention before I'm done with my part is so officially it says that there are oh shit
Oh fuck.
Corn Pop is
disconnected
Oh
uh
Jesus.
fake Eric aka Abstruse disconnected. Okay, whatever. I'll just go on. So there are two official releases linked to Stinking Bishops, one being Medieval Football Violence and the other called like Death to Modern Football or something, which is a split with Odd Slack. And I'm not gonna like spoil too much for like the next Black Blood, but there's an interview with Stinking Bishops, and I don't know if he's just trolling or not, but he says like that split with Oddslack like wasn't even them. It was like someone else pretending to be them or something. So that's just It's just weird. I think he's just fucking with me, but it was funny. So yeah, it's a hail for me.
Okay. So I guess I'll give my thoughts on it. Yeah, I'd like to start that up by saying it was definitely a hail for me too. I'm probably going to show my hand too much on Death Void. It kind of seems like what Death Void was going for, except to me, they succeeded. So yeah, I mean, you can hear the Oi influence in it a lot. It's very punkish in a way that some bands aren't, because usually when people
Mhm.
think of black punk, they think of, like you said, Iljarn and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
or worst, uh Midnight, like Venom clones, stuff like
This is
that.
more this is more in line with like Warsaw. I feel like early
Yeah.
Joy Division, like the yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely got almost like a bit of a art punk vibe, kind of like very early
Yeah.
post punk, maybe like early Killing Joke. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that,
Yeah.
that's
just like
that's my thoughts on it.
punk black metal, in like the way that other punk black metal bands don't do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Stuff,
a really interesting
punk black
piece.
metal in a way you don't hear enough of.
Mm-hmm. An untouched side of it.
Yes. So I guess Mr.
I go.
Wes.
Oh,
Oh,
Who?
would you like to go?
I mean,
I
I
can
should.
go.
Oh yeah, let's let him go.
Go ahead. Go ahead then.
Who's going?
You.
Okay.
You're
All
going.
right.
Yes.
Stinking Bishops.
Yep.
Yep.
So my first listen, I actually was listening through my phone, the speaker on my phone, and I wasn't digging it at first. I wasn't like really into it at first, and but when I listened to it through a speaker, I could hear everything better. I could hear the bass better. The bass is definitely unique. It definitely stands out. Um, I had an idea kind of what this band was maybe gonna sound like, just kind of based on the band name, like going in, just because they were called like Stinkin', and I was thinking that the music appropriately stinks, like the band name. But I'm kidding. I actually really liked it. It kind of like again, it kind of the bass reminds me of like Warsaw, early Joy Division, and some of that guitar noise reminds me of like yeah, maybe some Sonic Youth type shit. But it does have that black metal, edge to it with like the tremolo picked guitars. And
Yeah.
like I said too about the vocals, I really did like the vocals, and I do feel like at that one part it kind of reminded me of the Mutilation record. Not like literally the vocal delivery, but just how the mix and master was. But it gets a hail from me for
Yeah.
sure.
So what's Wes? What's
Oh,
Wes?
he's
What are
back.
Wes's thoughts?
No,
Oh,
Wes just
oh, I
talks.
just
Yeah,
did them.
Hi.
Oh, you
Hey
did?
guys.
Okay.
Oh, Eric.
Fake Eric has paid the power bill.
What
You've returned.
what part
So
are we
we're on
on right
Hail or
now?
Fail. We're on Hail or Fail. We're
Oh,
asking
on
you what your
Bishops,
thoughts are on
Stinking
Stinking
Bishops.
Bishops. Yep.
Oh, we're still talking about singing Bishop. Okay, we're fine.
Yes.
All
I'll
right.
go ahead and go next. I looked at the cover. I looked at the title, Medieval, which is spelt wrong. Football violence. A very funny name. I really like this. I really like the oi factor in it. Very prominent. The third, I'm not sure. Would you say that was an accordion in the third track? I
Yeah,
don't know. I brought it up. It sounded fucking caught me off guard.
yeah.
This whole entire release is very stupid, but I like it so fucking much. The
Yeah, I
something
would
was in my throat.
definitely give
Sorry.
this a hail.
I really like the vocal delivery on it, like in the vocal style. It's very everything, all the chaotic factors just kind of blend into a hail for me.
Yeah. I also love their aesthetic choices. It reminds me of Plescow Brethren Circle, where they take kind of that
Oh yeah.
like uh it's like kind of medieval aesthetics, but they add more of a modern twist on it.
It's
Like,
football.
Oh my god.
yeah, look at this guy. He's got his freaking eyes popping out of his skull.
It's got a very UK sort of 70s UK aesthetic to it. I can't really put my finger on it.
Yeah, and also quickly want to mention that I mean, Eric, you weren't here because your power cut out, but I have interviewed them for issue 3 of Black Blood, and
Oh,
also wanted to mention that they said that their demo was basically just a rip off Scottish oi band from 1985 called Skin Deep, who had an EP called Football Violence.
hmm.
So I've been listening to that one ever since I found that band. That is just so good. So if you like that medieval football violence, you should need to check out Football Violence by Skin Deep. So that's just
There you
It's
go.
kind of a pun
recommendation.
Do you
because he
have
says
any
me
magazines
devil.
Do you still have
Devil, yeah.
magazines?
Yeah, I have a magazine called Black Blood.
Yeah, I mean, like, are you sold out of them yet, or do you still have
No,
them?
I still got them shipping right now.
All right,
So
I'll have to cop one.
You
yeah,
shipping me out one?
yeah, I
Yeah.
just did today.
Oh,
Yeah, he
shoot,
had
I didn't give you my new address.
Oh shit, just I'll work it out.
Okay, okay.
Stian had to ship him before the next podcast, so he didn't call him out again for
Yeah,
running
As
but
we
running it like
established
liver
on the
mortis.
previous one.
I'll
As we
tell you my
established
I'll
on the
tell you my
previous
address
one,
on
it's
the
intercepted
podcast.
by Daniel.
yeah, just I'll write it down. Just say it right now.
So did everybody already give their opinions on this?
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay, so is this a hail all across the board?
I think
So,
so.
Seems like it, yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Next one is Spear of Tusha.
Yup.
Yeah.
I like this. I'll start off here. I already heard this. I heard this like when it released, and I love all of the influences they take. Like there's a lot of
Mhm.
like depressive black metal. There's a lot of post punk, even like kind of cold wave.
Yeah.
The things I
I got
compare
a
it to.
huge French cold wave vibe
Oh
from it.
yeah, oh yeah. And the things that I saw the most was like I saw Forgotten Woods in that just because of how it's very brooding, right? It's kind of I just like how restrained they are with everything. Like the first track you kind of I like it a lot. Like the initial riff is good, but I think it carries on for a bit too long. And it really shines in track 3 where you get this like abyssic hate ass sounding riff like that's very like depressive and everything. uh my main thing that I like about this is the fact that I can literally pick out every single like instrument, and every single instrument has a part where it peaks, you know what I mean? Like I can point out a synth line that's awesome, I can point out like a vocal cadence or whatever that's awesome. uh Another thing that I found pretty funny was on the first track, they do this hi-hat rhythm, and it's I don't know. It's just very interesting to me. It adds a nice like little rhythm above kind of the bass line that you're hearing. It's a really rhythmic release. So I would definitely give this a hail. Also, wait, it's like Cult of the Lizard God, one of my favorite bands of all time. I just had to throw that in, and that's about
I
it.
was gonna mention.
I can go.
Yup.
Sure.
All right. So I thought this one was really interesting, and I thought it was also a really good transition from the first project into this one. Just in that playlist, I thought it transitioned really good. This one is more post-punk and kind of like dark wave influenced. It feels like more like kind of like fresh and cool, and than the first one, than the Stinking Bishops. Like there's less noise. The guitars remind me of like stuff from like Sisters of Mercy and the Chameleons.
Oh.
That's kind of what the guitars reminded me of, and even like newer artists like Drab Majesty. The drum machines, they remind me of any goth or post-punk song from the 80s that use like a Boss Doctor rhythm drum machine, or the Linn drum with gated reverb.
Yeah.
And music overall brings me back to like 2013 when I was listening to like An Autumn for Crippled Children. Uh, uh, I don't know, they're kind of different, but sort of similar. I guess they're more like depressive, suicidal black metal.
Yeah.
But I like this a lot, and it's an easy hail for me. I think they do a good job. I think this guy does a really good job at like wearing his influences on his sleeves, but still remaining like very original. So, hail for me.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh.
I'll go next. I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a hail for me as well. Like Wes said, I got a huge 80s sort of goth rock thing from the percussion, the prominence of the drums, the mix. There was a lot of good instrumental separation in it, where it's still raw, but it's still intelligible, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The guitar tone was very much more modern compared to I don't know how I describe it, the more spaghettified sounds of the 80s goth bands, like maybe Fields of the Nephilim or Sisters of Mercy. But yeah, it was pretty good overall. I liked it. Like Stinking Bishops, it represents an idealized version of what it's trying to be, because you see so many post-punk black metal combination bands where it just sounds like shoegaze or maybe like Death Heaven or something like that.
Yeah. And
So those are my thoughts.
yeah, I'm gonna add that I think this is gonna be something that we're gonna see a lot in the next couple of years. Is a lot of these like raw black metal, post-punk combinations. We've seen it before, but I think it's just gonna become especially prevalent in the next 2 years.
Yeah, there
We
was
shall
like
see.
kind of there's like kind of like there was that one project AMSO years. It was like the guy from Alcest.
Yeah, I
It
know
was
what
like
you're
his
talking
first
about.
band, I think. Yeah, it was kind of
It
post
sound
punk or whatever.
That was kind of like what I was mentioning when I said it's like these other bands, because it seems like with these bands they go for this like dynamic between the two halves, where it's like,
Yeah,
okay, here's the post-punk part, okay, now here's a tremolo riff with some
right.
blast beats. But
Mm-hmm.
this with this spear, it seems like both
Natural.
are both are
Yeah.
natural and they're both happening at the same time, and it's never this sort of push-pull dynamic.
Oh, last thing I want to say about this project is I just think it's really interesting, like the actual concept and what it's about. I was reading a little bit about it.
It's like a female emperor, right?
And yeah, it's like about it's like Balkan. I don't know, it's like I guess some Balkan history. I don't know. I don't really know much about any of that stuff. So it was very fresh to me. Like all the ideas there were very original.
Their new stuff is also good. I recommend you guys check that out.
When did this one come out?
2020, and their most recent EP, I
Okay.
think, was 2021.
I thought this was 21.
I could be wrong. Let me
It
check
should
right
Pretty
be.
sure
now.
this one was
No,
21.
this is 20.
Oh, okay.
And it's just one guy, right?
Let me check. Yeah, it's just one guy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? That's like one of my favorite. Like I really like that one a lot. So props to recommending that one,
Oh yeah.
bringing that one up.
Do I go next, or do you
Yeah.
think real Eric?
Yeah,
Is he
now you
here?
can go next.
I don't think he's here. Okay. So I don't know. I'm just gonna regurgitate what everyone has said so far. You guys, we think the same. So it is a really nice blend of black metal and post-punk, obviously, and like Aiden said, it's not like this. Okay, here's the post-punk part, here's the black metal part. It just melts together really good, and it's reminiscent of the cult bands like Cult of the Lizard God, mentioned
Ooh, ooh.
already, and dare I say it, the latest Lamp of Murmur for
I knew this was gonna
Oh
get
yeah,
brought
I
up.
yeah.
didn't even
Yeah.
think I
I
didn't even
was
think of that.
I
You're
was
so
afraid.
right.
I was afraid it was gonna get mentioned before this,
But
but
it seems like with Lamp of
Shit.
Murmur, they're a bit like wink wink with it because the album cover is literally Floodland from Sisters of
yeah.
Mercy.
Yeah,
But this
it's
is way more natural.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
But yeah, post-punk parts, as Wes mentioned, going from Sisters of Mercy, Drab Majesty, all those. It was a nice listen, and but for me, it felt like it was one really long track. But like, that's not a bad thing though in this. But that might have had something to do with my current circumstances while I was listening because I was just packing a bunch of orders while listening. So maybe I didn't focus enough. But yeah, I wish it was more vocally creative though. But all in all, it's
Oh,
a hail.
I would
okay.
disagree with you on that. I
I
would.
think I think I think more like varied vocals could have helped this a lot instead of just having the same sort of distant reverb howling going on.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see where it comes from. Like we're kind of meanders on for a while. That's how most post punk is for me, though. It's kind of like post rock in the sense where like you're expecting a big build up and you don't really get it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but like this is where Lamp of Murmur's albums really exceeded with the vocals, I think.
He did like a falsetto. I think
Yeah, it
it was damn good.
was really interesting vocal performance, and I wish this demo had that, but it didn't. So, but yeah, it was really good. It was a hail.
Okay, and Eric isn't here, so we'll just continue to the next one.
Damn. Vomitory?
Vomitory. This is
Even up.
probably the one that I have to say the least about
Yeah, same.
because I'm
Me
I'm I'm
too.
I'm
Oh.
really not experienced with like death this kind of death
Yeah.
metal. The best thing that I can say is that like the vocals reminded me of Kaz Grant, and
Yeah.
I didn't
that
pick that up.
that was just about the only thing that that I can say about it. I definitely liked it, but there's just not something I can really point out about it just because
Uh, uh,
it kind of messed with my vibe, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll go
Cool.
next. So is it a hail or fail?
I liked it. I liked it. I just can't say anything about it, so I'll give it a hail.
Okay. Yeah. For me it's a hail, I guess. It's they're from Louisiana, believe it or not. I
Yeah,
was
since
actually I was going to mention Crucifier. They kind of remind me of this weird sort of
Humans are such
totally
easy prey.
totally yeah Demos
Yeah,
hmm
Crucifier. This weird like circle of bands, but I wouldn't even call it a circle. They were just kind of on the same creative wavelength in the 90s. Bands like, of course, Imprecation, Infestor, what's another one? Insanity
oh yeah.
and Decrepit from Ohio, where they do this sort of combination between like sort of incantation-y death metal, maybe some Finnish death metal, just a very early 90s sound, and they combine it with maybe some like at the time embryonic black metal where there's like the
Embryonic
vocals and
like
stuff like
Norwegian?
no, like meaning
Oh,
Free
it's yeah,
Emperor?
like just black metal that was developing at the time. So
I
whatever
gotcha.
was very popular at that time. So maybe some Norwegian stuff. I
No, I meant
mean,
like the Norwegian Embryonic, the band.
no, no.
That was
Uh
Emperor.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
Emperor. But
That demo was
that
all that
was
really.
that was what that reminded me the most of was those bands. They did release another demo later on, but I can't find it anywhere. But I'd probably listen to it again. For a demo, the riffs are they're pretty good. So yeah,
Give it
it's
a
a hail
hail.
for me. Yeah.
All right.
All right, I
So
can go.
yeah.
All right. I thought that I had heard this band before. As I mentioned earlier, I think I listened to the other Vomitory. Um, but yeah, totally different band. The opening riff for like the first song reminds me so much of Rain and Blood by Slayer. It really does. It sounds pretty close to that, which is
Hmm.
cool. because I that's my favorite Slayer album, and it's probably the only one I ever go back to. Um,
Whoa.
I mean, not the only one I ever go back to, but it's like the main one. My
Come
favorite
on, bro.
tracks. What?
You summoned Steon's wrath once again. Like when I mentioned Covenant on the last episode, Morbid
Okay,
Angel, when I
just
said that was my
keep
favorite
going.
album.
We got 9 minutes left in this room.
My favorite tracks were Incision. I liked the beginning of that track, the slower part, and there was a part at the 12-minute 50-second mark where it like goes into a breakdown. It was really sick. Satanic Incantations was really good. I really like the riff at 1715 on that YouTube video. This isn't like the type of shit I really listen to anymore, but I really appreciate it, and I know at like one point in time I would have like loved this if I had known about it. I'm gonna give it a hell.
Okay. That was everybody,
Yeah.
right?
No, I haven't done
Oh.
that. Always happens. So yeah, it's death metal. It had fun moments and
We like to have fun around here.
we like to have fun in music. I don't know. Again, I was packing orders while listening, so I couldn't like have all my attention focused on this, but I picked up on some moments that I enjoyed a lot, and it was good, and when it's good, it's a hail. So
Okay.
I guess that's it for me. So
Death Void next.
Oh wait,
Still
which one?
on here.
I'm
Oh,
back. Yes.
okay, could you do Spear of the one,
Spear
I'll
of
just
the-
one?
give two
Yeah.
little quick responses
Yeah,
for them.
do a quick one for Spear and one for
Spear
Vomitory.
of Tarantula, pretty. It was all right.
Oh,
It wasn't my
A
thing.
tepid
But
response.
the first two tracks
Damn.
were a meh for me. I really liked the third one though.
Yeah, the
It
third
was
one
just-
is where they shined.
yeah. It was a Curse of the Roman Gods, I believe.
Curse the Roman gods.
Oh shit! I typed that wrong. But I really like that one. It really shined through the rest of them. It's a hail, but barely. If it didn't have that
Ooh,
third track,
what?
listen, Matt. That
You
type
are
of
tripping.
I'm
You are
tripping.
tripping.
I'm tripping. What was this? The next one? What were we?
Vomitory.
Vomitory. It's death metal. I mean, the I'm actually kind of blended into each other. There's some fun moments, but my favorite one.
That's what I said.
No, the last track was the only one that like made me really want to like wonder what it was. I actually kind of. I mean, I know it's the best song of the whole demo or album or rehearsal or EP.
Death Void. Do one for Death Void
Okay.
right now.
Okay, you want me to start or who wants to start?
Real Eric, continue.
Oh, okay.
Since you're on a roll.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck. Fuck. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
You're
Go
getting
on.
all panicked.
No, I thought I disconnected something. Well, anyways, it was all right. I don't know what you guys did. I didn't listen to my demo for
Oh.
the Hail or Fail. I just kind
I
of
thought
chose
you heard
something.
it.
I heard glimpses of it, but I just kind of skipped to the middle of it like a year ago. I was like, okay, and then I put it on my list, but never actually listened to it. Such a weird fucking. I don't even know how to describe it. There's this bubbling sound that's kind of going on through
Yeah.
the whole demo. Kind of
Mm.
reminded me like a little. I'm gonna fucking sound like a moron for this. Sounded me of like gore noise almost, like
Yeah.
gore noise vocals.
Yep.
It's so fucking weird. Except it feels like I don't. It feels like they're not going for anything specifically, just experimenting. I think I'm gonna give it a fail.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I think
All right.
the production was really challenging and
Yeah.
and like I'm all for being weird, but this was like weird in the bad way. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Again, I wasn't focusing so much on the music while listening, but I don't think it would make it any more fun if I just had my full attention on it. So Yeah, I don't know. It's a quick fail for me.
Okay. Uh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Uh, I thought the introduction, the little 30-second part at the beginning was short and sweet and didn't have the weird, like, watery gurgling sound. Um, I thought the opening riff in the first song was pretty catchy, but it doesn't like really prepare you for like what's to come. Um, I feel like yeah, I had never listened to this band before. I didn't know what to expect, and it was not what I was expecting at all. And I can definitely say this wouldn't be for everybody, mostly because of that wall of noise that's like that drenches like 99% of this. Um, but I can get into it. Just I think it's weird and interesting. I don't know like what they're about or what they're trying to do, but there was like some kind of creepy Morse code, almost like a number
Outro.
station.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like a Morse code kind of thing or something.
Hmm.
yeah,
I
they
Um,
had
just
like
skipped
a
that.
thing on their Bandcamp. It's kind of like an ARG or something. There was some
yeah,
kind of puzzle on
yeah.
their Bandcamp.
So I think that's really cool. You know, it's kind of esoteric, kind of mysterious. As far as the music goes, I don't know. I like a lot of noise. I like a lot of weird, like dissonant raw black metal. I don't know. I'm kind of I, I guess I guess I'm gonna give it a hail. I just don't feel right giving it a fail, but it's definitely not like my favorite thing, but I'm interested in it. Keep my eye on it.
Okay. So I actually like this a lot. I'm not gonna lie. The way that like the drums were kind of detuned to the point where they're casting these ridiculous overtones that are making like a wall of sound in the back, but you can still kind of hear like the rhythmic pounding. I really love that. I like really like that. And it's kind of contrasted by the thin ass guitar tone, which reminded me of like early Revenant Marquise or Marquise.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Uh
it's Marquis actually.
Yeah.
Marquise,
Marquise.
Marquise,
I'm not good at pronouncing
You.
things.
Marquis.
But I will say
Marquise.
they have more like bass prevalent in the mix, which makes it more of like a rhythmic experience than a melodic one in contrast with, the UK band. Uh so I like it a lot because you've got kind of like the noisiness, but it's also very rhythmic with things. And that way I'd compare it to like I guess more rhythmically like focused power electronics, stuff like that. Even though it's not power electronics. I would give this a hail.
All right.
Like
Well,
a minute left.
that leaves me. That leaves me.
Quick.
Yeah, it's a fucking fail for me. I didn't hear no riffs, no riffs.
Where are the riffs?
Couldn't really decipher a rhythm. I I didn't like it. This was something I listened to in the background while just reading. So I didn't like it. I didn't like it. In fact, I couldn't really read while listening to it, so it was very disruptive. So I
Nice.
listened to it all the way through. I toughed it out. So that's it.
Wes,
Mutilation.
All
Spit
right,
some bars.
mutilation. Remains of a ruined, dead, cursed soul. It's my favorite black metal record.
of all time?
Oh, ever.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Damn.
It's a contender for number one. Um, yeah, so it's a compilation. I feel like Vampires of Black Imperial Blood always kind of gets the spotlight, and I feel like there's just not enough attention on this one. But people that do know about it seem
Love it.
to love it,
Yeah.
and I found out about it on a good old website called Anus.com. It was the American Nihilist Underground Society, and
I think
back
Brett
in the day,
Stevens actually did that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
it
sure
was
Brett Stevens did that.
great. Such a good website. I learned so much stuff on there, and I found out about a lot of good bands, including Mutilation. This release was ranked at number 9 on their house list, like of house favorites. Um, I know like Gravelands, the Celtic Winter was on there too. That was also how I discovered that. But so about this, this is what really got me into mutilation. This is what got me into the LLN. This is what got me into depressive suicidal black metal at one point. And I just, it's so cold and dark and noisy, but at the same time, it's still accessible. It's a very, like, I feel like it's a good beginner album for this kind of music.
Oh yeah.
Um, and yeah, I mean, the side A is perfect. I think Suffer the Gestalt is a perfect opener.
Mm-hmm.
You know, To the Memory of the Dark Countess, I used to really like that song a lot. Possessed and Immortal is like one of the best mutilation songs. I know the drumming is like not very good, but it kind of I don't know, it kind of all comes together in the final act. Um but it's like, yeah, it's just got these like razor sharp guitars all over it, and the screams are just really like painful and loud. And being a huge fan of him now, it's cool going back and hearing his vocals change too over time. But yeah, I'm super curious to hear what you guys got to say about it. I was going to do that Mars Creation album, but I decided to go with this just because I love it
It's a
so
classic.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
So yeah, it's timeless. I always go back to it, and obviously, yeah, Hail or Fail's not even a thing right now. So that's
Okay.
just some of what I gotta say. Anybody wants to
Yeah.
chime in?
I would say that I don't know. I really admire this release because it's like that very like sloppily played, but it's still like really melodic type of stuff. And I see this compilation the same way that I see like Absurd, like Facta Lokunter or whatever it's called. Because it was for its time, it was very early, and it's just kind of a randomly thrown together compilation. It was originally supposed to be under like some random like South American label or something, and it was supposed to be like the first like mutilation LP or something. Uh, I liked it. I
Yeah.
like this release a lot though. The drums definitely have like a bit to be desired, but you also have to consider like if you look at most of LN, it's it's not technical at all, and that's probably the most admirable part about this band and really any other band in the circle is that it's stuff that anybody could play if they wanted to, but the fact that there's so much like emotion and like genuine energy poured into this, I really like it. You know what I mean? Like you can be a bad
Yeah.
that's probably one thing I just like about black metal in general is you don't have to be the most like proficient musician. You just have to have
Right.
like a very great guiding ideology, and you have to have like a good message, and you can really write some great stuff without being that great of a musician. You know, it's not a cop out either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say it's a cop out. I don't even have to say it's a hail because you already know the answer. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go next. Yeah, like you said, it's still mutilation could just be among the best as far as these gateway bands go into just more pure, raw, alienating black metal, just because
Yeah.
they're still very raw. They're still very low fidelity, but it's still very musical, a lot like Moonblood, sort of.
Yeah, I was
But
just about
Yeah.
to say, like, them and
Yeah, for
Moonblood would
sure.
probably be the greatest
it kind of
gateways.
speaks for itself that they were put on Osmos of all labels,
Mm-hmm.
a label that popular, I guess, for lack of a better word. I mean,
At the time, for sure.
Osmos, yeah, that's it. It's a hail for me. I mean, it's obviously a
Cool.
classic. It's brief.
Yeah.
You want us to
Everybody
go
gone
next?
besides me, I believe. I'll go next.
I'll go after you.
I mean, what do I even need to say? It's mutilation. It's a cop out just saying that, but it's It's an essential band. It's very beginner friendly, and while I don't see this as being the best, it is still one of their really good works. And despite like all the rawness that comes on it, there is something very musically enchanting, sort of, that comes from it. I mean, I don't even get to say hail, but hail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it's classic LLN material in the Puka. Like, what can you expect? But admittedly, it loses me a bit on the last two tracks because of like the change in production in the
Yeah.
drum machine. Even though the same happens on Vampires with the track Born Under the Master Spell, but I just think that track is just a whole lot better than the two last tracks on here. Yeah. However, I think the high points of the album just really shines above the low points, so you can't just like disregard it by that. So I really forgot how good of a track Suffer the Gestalt is.
Oh, yeah.
Until I re-listened. And I noticed that I think it's like the second or like third riff, which is like basically the blueprint for like any early era Zaster song, like in the Nocturnal Poisoning. Like it's just a really good riff, and yeah, I think Abstruse Fake Eric mentioned it being like supposed to be the first album, and I feel like I've read the same, and I believe it was originally supposed to be called Evil, the Gestalt of Abomination.
That is correct.
Just wanted to throw in that fun fact. Tracks like Through the Funeral Maelstrom of Evil and Travels to Sadness, Hate, and Depression. Those tracks, just like one of the best Mutilations tracks, just incredibly depressing, incredibly emotional. Just like really pushes what they want you to feel with their music. So, no surprise it's a hail. So, yeah, that was Mutilation.
Everybody, isn't it?
I mean, that's
yeah.
I was gonna read something real quick. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but on the back, some lore of Maynok. Our world is dead now. Black metal is dead, and Maynok, the creature you used to consider as the root of all evil, of all your pains, and of the downfall of straight, well-thinking black metal scene, has gone too. I am part responsible of his death.
Ooh.
Considering the live performance with the dreadlocks, this makes a lot of sense.
I have a good
Truly,
Maynok
he is
quote,
dead.
Too. It's a philosophy. It's impossible to play black metal if you have respect for humanity. I think that's a pretty good quote.
At least the Conaton didn't go the route he did.
Is that a Maynok quote? A stoic quote?
Uh-huh.
Philosophical.
We're not going to talk about Vlad Tepes quotes. I'm just. No. Do you know what I'm referencing?
Yeah. I got you.
We can't even say that on YouTube. There's no way.
I was gonna say that he's gonna shut us down. You shouldn't do that.
I'm not entirely.
Just read the Black Plague zine. I think it was called the Black Plague. The LLN zine.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
They have some interesting statements in that one. So
I've read the scans that are online for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good got shit. Some shit to say.
So, guys, I guess that's it.
So, yeah.
Pretty good episode. Thank you, Mr. Opiated Devilsperm, Mr. Wes.
That's
short
right.
for Wesley, I assume.
Yes, Wesley.
Wesley.
Mr. West.
Good episode overall, and I guess we'll see you next week. We got a special guest. I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna talk about who it is, but it's gonna be
giving us a teaser already.
Yeah, I'll give you a teaser. A very important character. He's got he's got an eye for album covers. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
you guys haven't heard of him?
Yeah, no, he
that's it.
He really, yeah.
Aiden, you're gonna stop it.
He really likes Regina Spektor. Just look at his Instagram stories, you'll know.
You're giving away too much.
Yeah, you
No,
said
I'm
too
not
much.
laying it on too thick.
No.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
That's good enough.